Hey everyone, it's me up here, Luca, one of the health and wellbeing practitioners in the top right corner of this video. If you're wondering what on earth is going on, this app is called RD4. It's an app for making electronic music. If you're wondering why on earth I'm about to do a tutorial on using RD4 and making electronic music, there's a whole host of wellbeing benefits to being creative and making music. I covered a lot of them in today's earlier video, so if you're interested in any of them, please have a look at that video. Otherwise, here it is. This is the tutorial for using RD4. So there's a free version and a paid for version. I'm currently using the free version. I think the paid for version is worth it. It's £4, but I know that £4 can be a lot of money right now. The free version, it works fine. The only issue is you can't save. But the reason that I make electronic music is because I really enjoy the process of making it. For me, it's far more important the doing of it and the making of it than the end product. And so I think even with the free version, there's a lot of value to just making a nice tune, making a nice loop of some nice electronic beats. So if you haven't downloaded it yet, please download the free version or the paid for version. If when it comes on your screen it's not displaying properly, if you can't see where it says FX4 at the bottom here, I'm going to press this beats button here. If you can't see this row of square boxes along the bottom of the screen, it means you just need to do something to adjust your screen on your phone. If you go into settings, display, there'll be a setting called aspect ratio or display size. Just have a little play with that, have a look at what the app looks like, but you'll be able to get it so that you can see these. Most phones, I'd imagine it will be fine on. I think it's some newer phones with a super wide screen. Right, so pause the video, download the app, and let's get started. So when you open up the app RD4, first thing you'll be presented with is a screen like this. There are already some demo tunes saved on the app. So if I press play, I think that's a nice reasonable electronic tune, but we want to make our own. So you press these sort of 4 lines here, or is it 3 lines? Those lines there, press them, click load song, and then click on new song. Okay. This is our mixer. This is where we can adjust the levels of different parts of the tune. But to start with, let's create a drum beat. One thing to do first, actually. On the mixer screen, press the play button. We haven't programmed anything yet, but it's playing so that when we do put something in, we'll be able to hear it. Can you see this red dot running along the bottom of the screen? That red dot signifies that something will be played when it's programmed onto those steps, and you can see there's 16 steps here. First thing we're going to do is just try and establish a little bit of rhythm, and we're going to do that by putting a 4/4 kick down. Now, if a kick is a kick drum, it's one of the big drums that you see in a traditional drum kit, and we're going to do that by putting one. So you can see I've selected bass. They call it bass here as opposed to kick. I've selected bass, and then I'm going to put one there, one there, one there, and one there. Boom. We have something that sounds almost like music. Can you see? So this would be called a 4/4 kick, and it's called a 4/4 kick because you've just got 4 kicks to every bar. Okay, and you can see there's 16 steps, and we've just put a kick on number 1, 5, 9, and 13. Okay, and that's the first of each step. You can think of it as 16 beats, 4 steps. But don't worry too much about it. We've just got the steps, the kicks, where we have them there. Oh, where am I? There I am. Okay, so we've got a beat. The next thing we want is a bit of rhythm. So we're going to go and put a snare down. So you can see the free version does have a little pop-up that comes up for a few seconds. It's not too bad. Let's continue. There we are. So the next thing I'm going to do is pop a snare down. So I'm going to select snare, and I'm going to put a snare on step number 4, 5, 6, step number 7, and you can see we're getting a little bit of some sort of like Latin-y, sort of South American techno-y sort of beat going. And I'm going to go and put another couple of snares on step number 10. So that's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. All right, we've nearly got music. Just going to pause that for a moment. Now I just think we need a little bit, maybe just one more thing with the drums. So I'm going to go and put a clap on each half step. So we've got a kick on each step. Let's put a clap on each half step like that. I'm going to leave the end blank because I think it's nice to have something that signifies like the end of the motif. Okay, so let's see what that sounds like. Let's make it a bit louder. All right, I think we could do with a little pop as well, just to give it a little bit more. I think that's sounding pretty good. I think it's beginning to sound like music. But you know what? We're in Sheffield and there's a history of pretty strong bassy music here. So I think that beat could just be a little bit bassier. So I'm going to go into beats. I'm going to press deep, and that is a deep subby sound. So 1, 2, 3, 4. It's got a bit of something to it now. Nice. Feeling that. So we've got our drum beat down. I think we need a little bit of melody now. So we're going to go into bass line. Okay. Now bass line. Let's go back to. So to jump between screens, press in the top left, and you can press mixer. It takes you back to the mixer screen, or you can go directly to what you want to. But let's just do everything from mixer for now. So we've got our beats. Go back into mixer. We want bass line. So you can see here, that's our beats. Turn it down. Turn it up. But we need something else. Let's get some melody. Let's go into bass line. Now you can see when we go into bass line that this is beginning to look a little bit more like a traditional instrument. So this here, this is a synthesizer. It's this feature in the app emulates an old type of a synthesizer called a 303. It was quite popular and used quite a lot in a lot of 90s dance and techno music, but I still think it very much has its place in this decade. You can see here we have steps like we had in the beats. Okay, all the steps are there, and we have some keys now that we can program onto the steps. If you're not musically minded, if you're not trained in traditional music, don't worry, don't be put off by those keys. I will teach you a little workaround. So some notes sound better with others, okay? Some notes don't sound so good together. Notes that sound right together, we call that a key. It might be in the key of D minor, it might be in the key of E, you know, but don't worry too much about it. So if you just play the white notes and don't worry about the black notes, everything you do will be in the key of C or A minor, okay? So for the purposes of this video, we're just going to be working with the white keys, okay? And our song will be in the key of A minor or C, probably C, I think. So I'm going to choose that step there, and I'm going to pop a C on that step. Don't worry if you do or don't know that that's a C. We're just going to go and put the first note we have there, okay? That's going to be the lowest note that we have at the moment, and that will be the highest, okay? So I'm going to put one C there. I'm going to put another one there, another one there, and another one there. And then let's put another note next to that. We're going to put a D there, a D there, a D there, and a D there. And then, yep, you guessed it, let's pop an E after all of those. And let's see what that sounds like. Alright, sounding okay. I think that sound could be a little bit softer. So what you can use, so these knobs at the top here, they work the same as the volume knobs. These knobs at the top here, they work the same as the volume knobs in the drum kit. They're fun to play with, see how the different knobs affect the sound. Resonance, I would describe that in easy terms as that is how lasery the sound is. And cutoff, that cuts out high frequencies, okay? So let's press play. So we'll see, if we increase cutoff, we should hear a higher sound. If we reduce it, we get a lower sound. And I think the lower sound sounds a little bit softer. Let's make it a bit less lasery. I'm going to add a bit of decay. Makes the notes, each individual note, a little bit longer. Alright, I think starting to sound a bit like music. I think we can do a little bit more there. we've just got that repeating, I think, on this, on the blank beat we've got on the end of each step. Let's do something interesting with them. So I'm going to go and put A, so that's a C, D, E, F. Let's put an F there. Let's put a G there. And let's put a B there and an A there. Okay? So A, B, C, D, E, etc., etc. If you don't know the notes, don't worry about it. Just have a play with putting the white keys wherever you want. Okay? Let's see what that sounds like. All right, we've got. I think it would be fair to say we have a melody. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to give it just a little bit more rhythm by getting rid of some of those notes. So let's get rid of note number 2. So I press the beat that I want to remove the note on, and press the key, and it's gone. And let's get rid of. So 8, 9. 8, 9, 10. Let's get rid of note number 11, and let's get rid of note number
11, 12, 13, 14.
Oh, adverts, because I was being too long.
So we'll get rid of like 2, 6, 11.
And 13. Okay, let's hear what that sounds like. Nice. I think we're starting to make. We're getting there. Every little step, we're getting a little bit closer to music. So let's leave that for now. And let's add in. So you can see on our mixer, we've now got 2 bits, just beats, just our little melody. Oh, and that's because we increased the decay. We've now got that. The note goes a little bit longer when it finishes. I quite like little things like that about these instruments. So let's go to the next one, analog. We've got more keys, and this one's quite complicated. We're going to come back to it. Let's just go back into mixer. You can see this little arrow where next to where it says analog. Press that, and let's pop another little bass line on there. So we're going to add in just a couple more notes on the bass line instrument, okay? So I'm going to, on step 1, let's do a really high note. Now, let's see what that sounds like. Let's make it louder. Nice, right, and then we're going to put another one there. Let's make it. I think they could be higher. Now, this keyboard here, it does go on like that. You just can't see it, okay? So it goes from low to high and then even higher. To get to the even higher notes, you press the up button there, and that gives us a higher note. And we'll do it there, and we'll get a higher note there. Let's see what that sounds like. I think that just sounds very even, and I think just to keep it a little bit more interesting, let's offset this second high B. Okay, I'm going to offset it to there. And let's get rid of that one there. And let's see what that sounds like. Just gives it a little bit of swing. Just to offset it just a little bit. We're getting there, we're getting there. Right, final bit. We're going to add in one more instrument. We've got our analog synthesizer here, okay? Those notes are all quite short. And I think we could use this to have some longer, sort of more drony, full sounds to sort of fill in the gaps in the background in the song that we're making. So I'm going to press this button here that says ENV. That stands for envelope. Okay, this isn't an envelope like what you send letters in, but this describes what happens to the note when you press a key. So at the moment we press a key, it very quickly comes on and then it goes off again. If I increase sustain, this increases how long the note sounds for. And if we increase release, it takes longer to go quiet when I lift my finger off. And if we increase attack, it takes longer for the note to start. Alright, so Let's get our beat going and let's try and create something. One thing, I think we want to do some, so with everything that we've been working with so far, we've been working with 16 steps. I want to work with more with this, okay? So we're going to go not 32 steps, we're going to go double that, so we're going to go 4 times as long as what we did before, so we're going to have 64 steps. Now, if you press this button here that says A1, and we want it to play steps 1 to 4, okay? That means that it's going to play the first 16 beats are 1, and then 2, and then 3, and then 4. So first 16 beats are 1, second set of 16 beats are 2, third set of 16 beats are 3, fourth set of 16 beats are 4. Now if I let's press play, and we're going to have a little play with this. Press play. And let's see, what would we want? Maybe we'll start, maybe it could match the pattern that we had with the last beat on the bass line. So I'm going to make that a little bit quieter. A little bit less attack. Alright, I think something like that sounds good. So I'm going to press record, and now I'm going to key it in live, and you can see this light here that's showing where our steps are. And then you see we've recorded it in, and it's now playing it for us. I think that sounds a lot like music. If you followed on to this point, you've got a tune going. Nice one, you know. There's so much more that you can do with this app, more than I can do in this video. You know, I could do an entire few hours on this app. You know, we haven't explored half of what these buttons do here, but I would recommend get on it, have a mess about, play with the different effects, see what you think. Now I think that those analog keys that we've got, I think they would sound better if we did something special to them. So this bit here, if we light up this button that says FX1, okay, that's going to send that sound that gets played on the analog keys to the effect 1. Now if we go to FX, effect 1 is delay. Oh, we don't want to have it on delay. We want to add on reverb. Now, which is, let's have a little check. Reverb is effect 4. Okay, so send it to effect 4. What reverb does is it emulates, it makes things sound like they're in a big hollow hall, like in a big empty church or other, you know, big hollow building. Okay, and let's so now that's being sent to reverb. Let's see what happens. Let's go into reverb. Size literally refers to how big the room would be that you're trying to emulate. I think that's sounding alright. I think let's so we know that FX1 is delay. Let's send this little single beat on 1 and 10. We'll send that to let's send that to the delay. Oh, let's get this playing. See what that sounds like. That one, making it happen twice as fast by changing it from 1 in 4 to 1 in 8. Let's see what happens if we send the other bass line to the delay. That is interesting. I'm going to leave that. Let's go into beats. Let's send these two to the delay. Guys, have fun with it. Enjoy. I totally love this. I'm going to carry on playing with it now, actually. I hope this video has been of use. I hope that you have discovered a new hobby. You know, have a play with it. Have a play. What I've given you is a base. You know, something to work with. But there's so much more than what I've done with you today that you can do with this, and I'd really encourage you to explore the app. You know, have a nice time and yeah, enjoy yourself. You know, if something doesn't work, you just delete it and you start again. Thanks very much for watching, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye. Bye.